Welcome back, everybody. Tadej Pogacar. We knew he had an injury. We saw him fall down at this year's Tour de France. But this week, Tim Wellens was on a podcast, right? I believe that all these things pop up in a podcast. Was it L'Equipe?
L'Equipe? I think it was
Who did he
L'Equipe.
talk to? Okay, L'Equipe.
L'Equipe.
Tim Wellens talking to L'Equipe let us all know that, in fact, Tadej Pogacar was actually close to dropping out of the Tour de France, went to the hospital to check out that knee injury. It was more dire. Basically, it was more dire, and we keep finding out that it was more dire than we originally thought, right?
Yeah, it was on, as Tim Wellens tells it was on stage 17, which I think went to Valence. And Tim Wellens says, Tadej came to me and said, Tim, we have a problem. My knee is killing me. So then that's not good. And if you look at the photos now, he does look quite uncomfortable on the bike during that stage.
Yep.
So after they'd finished in the rain, Pogacar goes to the doctor, even went to the hospital to do some tests, and they discovered like an infection. And they were sure that the news was going to leak out, I guess, from someone seeing him like at the hospital or something. And that they'd even discussed on the team bus the fact that he could even abandon. Which is quite severe, and I still take these stories with a bit of a pinch of salt, to be honest. Like,
Yeah.
you know, until we actually hear it from Pogacar, and even then, like, who knows if he wants to be playing mind games or he's just over egging it to have a bit of fun. But they said that they saw that his like knee had like filled up with fluid, and even afterwards they were concerned how his body was going to react. I mean, obviously he then went and won the Euros and Lombardia. But if it is true, I mean, how depressing for the Tour de France to come, because if he won on the verge of abandoning, then a fully fit Tadej Pogacar absolutely steamrolls everyone even more so than he did. But yeah,
you're right that
like,
it is.
yeah.
You got to take it with a pinch, a grain, some level of salt.
Yeah.
It's hard to say exactly because we get these stories a lot. I feel like it's actually usually the reverse, though. Usually it's I'm not feeling well when in fact I'm feeling totally fine and I'm going to destroy you. This is sort of the reverse. It's like trying to hide the fact that he wasn't feeling well. But either way, I mean, there's always this mind games element of how much truth is being allowed to filter out.
Yeah. So yeah, a weird one. It makes sense why we don't hear the truth in real time, but then I guess it keeps everyone busy a bit during the off season, because then the real news of what happened trickles. It's like when you have to wait like 3 decades for government files to get declassified and you actually find out what the hell was going on, and we only have to wait 4 or 5 months, so maybe we should be grateful. But yeah, I mean, very well done to the team, I guess. Like, we criticise that team for being a bit of a haphazard mess at times and unorganised, but they managed to keep this quiet.
When Pogacar's involved, they usually get their shit together. Like that. That seems to be the differentiator.
That is true, actually. Yeah, that is very true. Fair enough. Rescinded.
Well, there's a good reason to keep it quiet, right? Which is just that it's if Vingegaard knows he doesn't give up. It's not like he gave up, but he sniffs a bit of opportunity, perhaps.
He kind of gave up on that stage they shortened.
We might have seen a better end of the Tour de France if this had gotten out, right? Like that's the reality.
It should be like go on.
Well, I would just say that Valence stage, I think, is the day that you and I left, Johnny. So, yeah, they're just doing us a solid.
I was like Vingegaard. I'd one foot out the door already. It'd be much more fun if they did it like I presume they do this in other American sports, but like NFL, where you have to declare like your injuries and you can't lie about it because of betting, I guess, and fantasy and whatnot.
They also there's a lot of things that you could take a good cue from with American football, where you get like actual contract details, exact contract details, rather than like we have no idea whether an EF rider is signed at the end of the year or not, because they just don't tell you how long the contract's are for. Like, I remember there was a few years ago. So Pro Cycling Stats, they have whatever data they know, they put that in. And BMC was another team that like didn't tell full details. And so on Pro Cycling Stats, it seemed like 5 high-profile BMC riders were like out of contract. And another outlet, not one that I wrote for, had a story about all these out-of-contract riders. And BMC had to come out and say, these are not out-of-contract riders. Pro Cycling Stats just doesn't know that they have a contract for next year.
Right.
And this would all be solved if, like normal sports, we just got full-on contract details. So-and-so signs, 6 years, $70 million, whatever.
There's a fine line between, because obviously the parochial nature of cycling is a lot of fun. But yeah, I think like injury stuff would be probably useful. And yeah, contracts. I can't really think of anything else.
As betting grows, that's the real reason to have that stuff sort of public.
Well, did you see? I think it was Velo who wrote that thing. Oh, is cycling due for the next big like gambling scandal? Because obviously there was the NBA thing where you have, because NBA is an easier sport to fix because you can like miss your free throws, and there's lots of different variables and way to source points. And cycling betting markets, one of the ones they have there is head-to-heads. So then basically you could just like ease off and let another guy go ahead of you, and then that's an easy way to fix it. The thing that I think
it's all the prop bets, right?
Prop bets, yeah, that's right. Yeah. The thing that failed to realize is how little money is being bet on cycling.
Yeah.
Like if you ever look on Betfair, which is like a market where you buy and sell bets, it is literally like a couple of pounds.
Right.
So I think we're safe for now. But who knows? Maybe that's if the Rockets do their job, maybe we'll be awash.
The Unibet Rockets.
You know who just wrote a really good piece about this was friend of the pod, Tour de France friend, Patrick Redford, over at Defector. Just wrote a great piece about the betting. I mean, he's pretty anti-betting, as I think most of the Defector crew are, in terms of sort of his take on this. The story that he wrote, which is worth reading, was sort of that basketball media. They're talking about this basketball controversy. Basketball media is ill-prepared to take on this story because they're all complicit, right? And they're all funded by the betting companies at this point. And because this is true, like you listen to the vast majority of sort of big ball sport podcasts or whatever, they're all funded by
FanDuel. I've seen good
FanDuel
memes
and whatever else, right?
More on this story. When we return, podcast sponsored by DraftKings.
Exactly. And so, like, how can you expect a media ecosystem that is massively funded by these entities? Which like let's remember that these didn't really exist 10 years ago in the States anyway, because online betting in the States is relatively recent. And Patrick makes a really good case for, one, the media ecosystem not being prepared or like capable really of handling this, and two, just of sort of like the horrors of having a casino in your pocket at all times, and like the terrible things that that's doing, particularly to young men across a lot of America right now, which I'm pretty much I'm fully on board with. I mean, I'm not a gambler myself. Never really understood it. I hate losing money more than I like winning money, so I just I can't do it. Drives me nuts.
I think it's a much more of a shock to the system over in America, because like the UK, it's kind of always been
right.
Like my granddad has like for years had a betting shop and to go down and like put a couple of quid on like a horse. So it's much more ingrained in like the culture. It doesn't make it right, and definitely the phones.
Yeah, like, the mobile aspect is really.
Like my younger sister, her like guys she knew at uni, and like talk about how they just sit there watching the football, and it would just be like money going. So it's like obviously like it's a bad thing, but it's just quite hard. I don't know, from like a British perspective to be
but it's new here.
It's normalized, So which is wrong, but it being new means that you actually wake up and are like, oh, this is actually quite insane.
Yeah, and you've got lots of young men, going into massive debt at 22 years old. And
I actually feel like being a cycling fan uniquely prepared me for the coming of this to America, because 10 years ago when I was watching a stream on Steep Hill from British Eurosport, I was getting those ads that we were not getting in America. And I was seeing every ad break that sports betting was like. It's just every ad break in the UK. It's insane. And then also visit Azerbaijan. That was another one. I remember. That was a real big one.
You found out about gambling and Azerbaijan in one fell swoop.
Most of America doesn't know Azerbaijan exists, so
Thanks, Steep Hill.
They don't have enough oil or something, probably.
No.
How
did we get on this topic again?
We went from UAE to reporting injuries to American sports.
That's it.
Gambling.
Good for us.